Dear learners of Standard 7, it's a very good morning and welcome back to my today's Science Geography class. Hopefully you all are safe and sound at your home by the mercy of Almighty Allah. Previous day, I had discussed with you about the annual motion of the Earth and only I had focused on that very day on the 21st June. So today, the 3 days I will discuss today, that is annual motion of the Earth. You know, Earth revolves around the Sun. Have you noticed that the time of different days and nights in the year have difference? Sometimes days are longer and sometimes nights are longer. Have you ever thought on how it differentiates? It can be replied that such disparity occurs due to the annual motion of the Earth. That means when Earth revolves around the Sun. Here you are observing the 4th position of the Earth. So an annual motion causes days and night and change the season. So let us have a look to the following figure. While moving around the Sun, the 4 stages of Earth you are observing. Here the 4 stages of Earth have been specified in the orbit, such as 21st June, 23rd September, 22nd, that is December, and 21st March. So it is 22nd December. And about the summer solstice and winter solstice you learned in my previous content. Sol means sun and stice means stand still. So when sun gives the heat perpendicularly on 66 to 0.5 degree up to 90 degree, that means from the Arctic point up to the North Pole, it is the summer solstice in that region which occurs in the northern hemisphere. So one by one I will discuss. Follow here. This is the figure which is showing us the position of 21st June, and you know it is the Arctic Circle, Tropic of Cancer, equator, and this equator divides the Earth into 2 equal parts, and the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere, here is the 2 important line, that is Tropic of Cancer, Arctic Circle, southern hemisphere, Tropic of Capricorn, Antarctic Circle. You must have to practice to draw the figure, and in any one of these Earth diagram you must have to show these points. So this one is the axis, and here this figure shows the season, and the days are longer, nights are shorter. Sometimes the night are longer, days are shorter. Then follow one by one. First of all, about the 21st June. What happened? While moving round the Sun, the Earth upon its course reaches at such a place on the orbit on 21st June where the North Pole mostly inclines towards the Sun or mostly tilted towards the Sun, and in the northern hemisphere the Tropic of Cancer gets the perpendicular heat of the Sun. So northern hemisphere will experience the longest day and shortest night, whereas the southern hemisphere will stay far away from the Sun. So the southern hemisphere will not get the perpendicular heat of the Sun. So the southern hemisphere will experience the shortest day and longest night. That is written here. Follow, where the North Pole mostly inclines towards the Sun and the South Pole remains furthest away from the Sun. So on this day at noon, the sunlight falls over 23.5 degree north latitude lengthwise. So I have told you sunlight falls the 23.5 degree, that means on Tropic of Cancer perpendicularly. This day on this date becomes the longest day in the northern hemisphere and the night becomes shorter, and the opposite situation exists in the southern hemisphere instead. That means southern hemisphere experience the shortest day and longest night. So on the day this 21st June, the northern hemisphere will experience the summer season and southern hemisphere experience the winter season. Next one, this follow the day, that is 21st June, the day will last for 24 hours from Arctic Circle 66.5 degree to north towards the North Pole to 90 degree. The night lasts for 24 hours from the Antarctic Circle also. So the day lasts for 24 hours from the Arctic Circle towards the north to North Pole, and the night lasts for 24 hours from the Antarctic Circle, that is 66.5 degree up to the 90 degree to the South Pole as well. The next one on 23rd September. What will happen? While June 21st becomes over, the North Pole continues to move away from the Sun and the South Pole continues to draw near gradually. Consequently, day gradually becomes longer and night shorter in the North Hemisphere, and in the Southern Hemisphere, day gradually becomes longer and night shorter. So, the Earth, what happened? Follow. Again I am telling, the day gradually becomes longer and night shorter in the Northern Hemisphere, and in the Southern Hemisphere, day gradually becomes shorter and night longer. So, the Earth stays at such a places on 23rd September where both the poles remain equally away from the Sun, and on that very day Sun gives the perpendicular heat on the equator. That means the sunlight falls lengthwise towards the equator at 90 degree angle towards the both Arctic and Antarctic Circle at the angle of 66.5 degree, and towards the poles at angle 0 degree. For this reason, day and night on this day remain equal across the Earth. That means on the 23rd September, the sunlight falls on equator perpendicularly towards the equator, and the both Arctic and Antarctic Circle at an angle 66.5 degree, and towards the poles it will be 0 degree. So here day and night will be equal. What about the 22nd December? 22nd December, that is while December 22nd becomes 23rd September becomes over, the North Pole continues to move further away from the Sun, rather the South Pole draws nearer. Consequently, the daytime gradually becomes shorter and night longer in the Northern Hemisphere. And here on the day of 22nd December, it must be 22nd December. So here 22nd December, sunlight falls perpendicularly on Tropic of Capricorn, which is situated at the Southern Hemisphere. So the Southern Hemisphere experience the longest day and shortest night, whereas the Northern Hemisphere experience the shortest day and longest night. So here Northern Hemisphere, as our Bangladesh is situated in the Northern Hemisphere, so Northern Hemisphere experience the winter season and Southern Hemisphere experience the summer season. Then subsequently, after this, follow what here written about the 23rd September. The duration of day and night is equal in both hemispheres of the Earth. Then over the equator, the sun shines vertically and it is hot in the equator. As the duration of the day and night is equal in Bangladesh, it is neither hot nor cold in here. Then the Southern Hemisphere, the winter departs and the summer is coming, that is, it is spring here. On 22nd December, I have told you here. So follow, a part of Southern Hemisphere remains facing the sun, then Bangladesh is far away from the sun. So in Bangladesh, the day is short and the night is long. The month is December. So the sun shines inclined at the south. The heat of the sun is less and due to inclination. Bangladesh, then it is winter. So the month of December we usually experience experience the winter season. On the other hand, in Australia, which is situated in the southern hemisphere, the day is long and the night is short. So the sun shines vertically over there, then it is summer in the southern hemisphere. So normally just you will make you clear that when sun gives the perpendicular heat on the tropic of Capricorn, which is situated in the southern hemisphere, so southern hemisphere experience the longest day and shortest night, whereas northern hemisphere will experience the shortest day and longest night. So in northern hemisphere there will be winter and southern hemisphere there will be summer. Next, what happened? Subsequently, after December 22nd, when the earth gets further ahead to its own orbit, the north pole gradually draws near the sun, and whereas the south pole moves away instant. So for this reason, day continues to be longer and night shorter in the northern hemisphere. So on that very day also, like the 23rd September, sun gives the perpendicular heat on the equator. So here the day and night both will be equal. So the earth inclines facing the sun, then the night and the day become equal over the globe. This is why in our country the day and night are equal. At this time the weather is neither hot nor cold, then it is spring in our country. So March, the month March, is spring in our country. That means our country is situated in the northern hemisphere. So northern hemisphere will experience the spring, whereas southern hemisphere will experience the autumn season. So dear learner, what would happen if the earth does not move around the sun? Follow. The facing part of the earth, that means which part of the earth in front of the sun, this part is enlightened with the light of the sun, and opposite part is dark. So no change of season would take place if the earth does not move around the sun. In this case, perhaps our country would enjoy dry season all over the year. No winter season would come or vice versa. That is, all the time it would be cold in the earth. So due to the change of the seasons, different crops grow in Bangladesh. Otherwise, only one crop would grow and it would become difficult to live. So, example, in Russia or other cold countries, man would not be able to survive if the season does not change. Most of the parts of these countries remain covered with ice almost all the year round. So human being will live over there? No. At that time, no crops also grows. So when summer comes, the ice melts, then man grows crops. If the summer does not come, they would not be able to grow crops. So dear learners, today up to this, and with this topic the chapter has been closed. So take the preparation at your home, stay safe and stay blessed.